Les Mills Pump is a program offered by Beachbody. It comes on 12 discs, and this is at-home fitness, where basically you just put the disc in, and it's monkey see, monkey do. You do whatever they're doing in the workout, you do. And I got this. This goes back to 2011. I picked it up this year it's 2024 on eBay for about $50, and then I bought a bar with some weights to use. I bought used weights from Les Mills at eBay. And let me tell you something about this. When I started doing P90X back in 2011, and then this came out, and then in 2012 they were marketing it heavily. Beachbody was, and when you're in the P90X world like I was, you just get mass marketed, bombarded. This program was very appealing to me, Pump, and I was interested in doing Pump, but for some reason I waited until now to do it. I picked it up this year and I started doing it. And what's the tagline? What they say during every workout is Kaha, which means be strong. And this is sort of like their mantra. This is the results you get, and screw the rep effect. Beachbody markets either for weight loss results or getting ripped. And not all their programs, but just about all of them, they're selling the weight loss benefits for someone that might be out of shape and wants to get into shape or overweight. Or if you're in shape and you want to get more ripped, those are the two things. So it's either weight loss or get ripped. And that's pretty much how they market this thing. And that's almost always their message. So why did I want to do this? There's something very appealing about Pump. Lots of reps, barbells, dumbbells, big weights. And that's why I wanted to do it. And, P90X started to get stale to me. So voila, there I go. The rep effect, now I mentioned that. The rep effect is how that's what they use the phrase for. It's their version of muscle confusion. Muscle confusion is to P90X what rep effect is to Les Mills Pump. And what that means is lots of reps. And what does lots of reps mean? Well, it's not just a lot of reps, but the sheer volume amount of reps, certainly, but also the different kinds of reps. So you're doing fours, which is imagine you're doing squats. You're going down for 4 seconds, and then you're coming up for 4 seconds, very slowly. It's like a slow count. Twos and twos, which is going down 1, 2, and up 1, 2. And then threes and ones going down 1, 2, 3, and then popping, bursting back up. And then they have down and holds, which is you sit in your squat and you hold it, and then you pop up. And then lower end 2 is where you go down and you come up halfway, and then you go down again, and then you pop all the way up. Lower end 4 is same thing, but 4 times. And then there's even lower end 10s, which is you go lower end 10s comes up in biceps, where you do a curl, you come down all the way down, and then you come up halfway 10 times. And then finally, the most conventional of all the reps is singles, where you just up, down, up, down, up, down. And singles is the one that burns you out. But that's what the rep effect is. Lots of reps packed into 5-minute sessions, and it's designed to burn you out, cause exhaustion, and to create the fatigue in your muscles that promotes growth. Now, the trainers for this program, in P90X, you get Tony Horton, and in Insanity, you get Shaun T, and in Sagi is the Body Beast guy. In this, you get a bunch of trainers. Now, there's 4 on the cover, but there's actually a lot more than that. Susan is, she's sort of she seems to be the main one, the leader. Susan's from New Zealand, and she's always selling her experience and how many years she's been doing it for. And she tends to lead the squats or the lunge sequences. And so I kind of see Susan as the leader of the program. The other trainers are Joe, Ben. There's 2 Bens. There's Ben 1 and Ben 2. And then there's Asa, Sheldon from the United States, Dan, Rachael, I think she's from the UK. And then Les Mills I think it's Les Mills Jr., but he's the grandson of Les Mills, who's the creator. I usually don't call it Les Mills Pump, even though that's how it's branded. I just call it Pump because you know, it's Pump. The yoga guy and the ab guy is a guy named Cory. He's pretty good. And then the yoga, there's a lady named Jackie. She does the second half of the yoga workout, which is the stretching. And then Jericho, I don't think Jericho is on the cover, is she? No. But Jericho she seems to be like the all-time modifier, and I think she leads one of the shoulder phases. But they're all very good at what they do. And the trainer's job is, number one, to lead that monkey see, monkey do that I talked about, but to motivate you, to coach you through it, to talk about form, and to establish the pace, which is the most important part, because you don't get the effects from the monkey see, monkey do unless you try to keep up with them or go at their slower speed. And that's the benefit of having the trainers. And the benefit of doing this at home is it's like you put the disc in and they pop up on your TV screen, and they're right there coaching you in your own home, even though it's taped 13 years ago or whatever. But you need this to get that sort of progressive overload that I talked about to cause your muscles to establish that rep effect. Okay, now we talked about the trainers, so I want to spend some time talking about the workout sequences and then the actual different workouts, because you get 12 discs in here, but I want to talk about the workout sequence before we go through what's on each disc. And there's essentially 10 sessions that you do for the pumps. Now, when I say pump, sometimes I mean pump the program, but then there's the pump. There are 5 discs that are called pump. So like pump challenge, pump and burn, pump and shred, pump revolution, and pump extreme. Those are the 5 essential to this program. The other 7 discs are sort of like they're like add-ons or things that you could do during downtime or whatever. We'll deal with that later. But most of the time when I say pump, I'm talking about those 5 pump discs, okay? Now in the pump discs, there are essentially 10 different sessions in a disc. And 2 of the discs have all 10. And then the other 3 have different combinations of the 10. But all 10 have the warm-up and the cool-down. So let's start with the warm-up first. The warm-up is generally a 4 or 5 minute warm-up on the disc these are the pump discs, of lightweight. And they start with deadlifts. They got some deadlifts, some squats, and generally some other combination of rows or curls or something like that. And the recommended for beginner is 5 pounds, and that's where I've stayed, being this is my first round ever of pump. I'm in the 5 pound range. I got up to 7.5 at one point, but then I've gone right back down to 5 because I think doing the heavier weight, which would have put me closer to the intermediate level, that was affecting my performance later on in the workout. So I would what you want to do in the warm up is just get the joints and the muscles ready, prepared to work out. You don't want to exhaust all your energy during the warm up because then you lose the benefit of the workout. So that's where I am. The second part is squats. So squats is the second session, and it's almost always the second session coming out of the gate. I'm in intermediate level for squats. When I first started the program, I was doing 0, and I've started at 0, and then I did the bar, then I put some weight on the bar, then I put more weight on the bar. Now I'm up to 32 pounds on the bar, which is intermediate level. And that's, my weight set has 11 pound weights, 2.2 pound weights, and then the bar is 6 pounds. So I'm up to 32.4 pounds. And the squats are killers. And let me tell you, when you do those 4s or the 2 and 2s or the 3 and 1s, and then all of a sudden you're doing a bunch of singles, that is rough. And, most of these sessions are 4 or 5 or 6 minutes long. When you start looking up at that clock and you see that there's still 2 or 3 minutes left on the clock, it starts to wear on you mentally because the squats burn. And I did battle through some terrible lower back pain. I didn't know if I was injuring myself but I think what it was I was just strengthening my lower back because it couldn't handle the squats, even with no weight. Even with no weight, my lower back was burning. That's how brutal it is. But now I'm like I said, I'm up to 32 pounds and I have way less lower back pain. I think it's just the muscles burning, really. Okay, but that's where I'm at with squats. After the squats is chest. So chest, you're either laying on the floor, or if you have a bench, you can lay on the bench, or if you have their stepper, you can lay on the stepper and do it. But I have a power block bench, so I do that. I'm up to intermediate weights. Same. I do the same weights for squats and chest, 32.4 pounds. Even though they say when you're about to do chest, lower your weight because your chest muscles are smaller than your leg muscles. I want to work my chest. I don't care as much about my legs, but like I said, all those years of doing P90X, I rarely ever held weights at all doing squats or lunges. Maybe just the medicine ball, but yeah. So chest, the 30. By the way, the 32 pounds kills me. It's just, I wonder how many reps it is in the 5 minutes that you do it, but you do the fours and you do the 2 and 2s and 3 and 1s and the singles and the bottom fours. Those are really rough, but I'm getting ready to move up, so that's where I am with chest. Legs and back, I'm at 39 pounds. I'm close to leveling up again on that. I think the legs and back is actually one. That's where I'm at the heaviest, and I think that's where you can be the heaviest because you're essentially doing deadlifts, clean and presses, and dead rows. And why I think I'm getting ready to level up is because I know I can do more deadlifts, and I think I can do more clean and presses. But what's really killing me is just holding the bar with my hands on those rows, because at the end of the round, they say, like, okay, widen your hands on the bar. And I actually have a hard time just holding onto the bar because the hands get tired. The hands fail before anything else, honestly. So, but those are the legs and back. It's probably my favorite circuit in the bunch. The fifth one is biceps. Now, biceps, I'm still at beginner weights, which is 5.5 pounds on each side of the bar. So 5.5 plus 5.5 plus the 6 pound bar, that's 17 pounds. But you do curls for 5 straight minutes. It burns. It burns so bad. But it's predominantly just curls with the bottom half 10s and 3 and 1s, 2 and 2s. And then you do like reverse grip dead rows because you're kind of working your bicep there. So that's about half of the sessions. Now, starting with pump triceps. By the way, biceps and triceps, that's your arms you're working, and they're only in pump, I think revolution and then extreme. I think triceps comes up in maybe pump challenge, but they sort of reserve those to the advanced workouts. But I'm still at sort of like between beginner and intermediate for triceps. And I'm switching weights, so I'm not like just grabbing one weight. I'm doing 11. I'm holding an 11-pound bar for the 11-pound weight for the French press, which is over your head, and then 5 pounds for the. You just do a gazillion, it seems like, tricep kickbacks, so 5 pounds for each arm, and then push-ups. Yeah, they threw in push-ups, so like closed hand push-ups. But triceps, you get a lot of work done with your triceps anyway throughout the program. So it's just like added that they throw in a 5-minute set of triceps on extreme and revolution. The next sequence is lunges and squats, which is like you almost always do 2 leg sequences in each workout. So the second one is lunges and squats. And at like the same, I started with 0 weight in weeks 1 and 2. And now I've worked my way up. I'm holding 28 pounds, which is a lot. It's 2 11-pound weights plus a 6-pound bar, so 28 pounds. I think that's probably in lower intermediate. It's kind of funny. At the beginning of each sequence, they scroll it across the screen, like beginner, X pounds, intermediate X pounds, advanced X pounds. I'm somewhere in that lower intermediate range for most of these, being this is my first time doing it. I want to get to advanced, but I think it's going to be hard for me to get there. Anyway, the lunges kill me. they just absolutely kill my legs. And it's mostly lunges. Doing bottom half lunges is incredibly difficult. And I have to be careful that I don't hurt myself. And I'm really slow and methodical about it. But I do match their pace. But it's grueling. It is grueling. Shoulders is number 8. Shoulders is another one where I grab different weights depending on what they're doing, but it's designed to burn out your shoulders. And the way I approach shoulders is, especially in P90X, I was always getting like shoulder injuries. So with all the push-ups and pull-ups, there's no real need to work your shoulders hardcore. So I would always use like lightweight 2.5 pound barbells or dumbbells, 5 pounds, 8 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, occasionally 20 pounds, but never going too much further than that. And so that's about where I am on shoulders. I'm holding 8s a lot, 8-pound dumbbells, and it is just killing me. It's so hard to get through a 5-minute stretch of shoulders, especially on the back end of the workout where you've already used your chest a lot. Number 9 is abs. Abs usually comes up at the end. You're either holding no weight, or in some cases you're holding up one 5-pound dumbbell and you're doing crunches. So abs usually includes crunches. You're laying on your back and then you lift your knees up and down, or you're doing hovers, which they call hovers if you're sitting in, if you're in plank but on your elbows, so like or your forearms, think like Sphinx. They call it hovers. So you're just doing different things with your feet, or you're popping up into plank from hovers. And then lastly, the cool down. Just about I think every session does have a cool down. It's like a 4 or 5 minute stretch where you go through and you just like sort of uncork your hamstrings and your obliques get worked out pretty hard, and you do some cool down stretches. It's good for you. Now, like I said, I got Pump on eBay. And I didn't even get the fitness guide. I just got the 10 discs that come with. Now, of the 10 discs, 5 of the discs are pump, where you're doing that sequence I just talked about, from the warm-up to the cool-down with the whole, the squats, the chest, the legs and back, which is the deadlifts and the rows, and then the biceps, triceps, shoulders, abs. You're doing that. Some combination of those in the 5 pump workouts. Challenge, pump and burn, pump and shred, pump revolution, and pump extreme. The other 5 are different. It's flow, combat, sport attack, hardcore, abs, and core. And I'll talk about those, but let me talk about the pump ones first, since that's like that's the main body of the program. That's where you're going to spend your time, and it's essential time to get the progressive overload that you want to get the rep effect, okay? So the first one is pump challenge. And here, by the way, there's a pump basics disc. It's not a disc, but it comes with pump challenge. So pump basics, they just talk to you. I think it's Susan. She just talks to you about, what to expect. And they show you the different kind, like how to do the squats and how to do the lunges and all that. Pump challenge is like a 25-minute workout. And it's by far the easiest. I don't remember actually doing it too much. I've done it 3 times. I did it in week 1, and I think in week 2 and maybe week 3, and then that was it. I have very little recollection other than I was doing pump challenge, and I was not holding any weight, and it was still killing me. It was absolutely destroying my legs and my back. So by the way, pump challenge, if you go to dailymotion.com and search for Les Mills pump challenge, it's on there for free. You can do it. You can try it. You don't even need weights, really. If you have dumbbells, you could try it, but it's helpful to have a barbell, but you could try it. Hell, I even did this with bands when I was traveling. So the second disc is pump and burn right here. I don't have the disc in here right now, but this pump and burn, see that? Pump and burn is longer than pump challenge. It's more like, I think it's more like 35 minutes. So there's an extra sequence or two in it. And I like that one a lot. I've done it 6 times. I did it mainly in month 1 and month 2. And you sort of, you do it like once a week in around pump challenge. And pump and burn is one of my favorites. Okay, so you go through, you do the warm up, you do the squats, and then for sure the legs and back are in there and some other stuff. But it's one of my favorite ones to do because even though it was killing my back and my squats, I think if I had to do it now, I would really like it. And I would probably be able to level up my weights. Pump and shred is the third workout. I've also done that one 6 times, and I've done that one. You sort of mix that in like once or twice a week with pump and burn and then pump revolution. Pump and shred you do a lot. Pump and shred kills me. So by the time I got to pump and shred in the second phase, I was starting to put weight on, especially for the squats and the legs. But it was the lunge sequence in pump and shred that was absolutely destroying me, just killing me. And I did it last week and it killed me. But that's evidence that the progressive overload and the rep effect is taking place, and my muscles are getting stronger. And you got it's like that old saying, you got to feel the no pain, no gain, or whatever. What does Rocky say? No pain, no gain. So that's pump and shred. I like that one a lot. Pump and shred is 45 minutes, I believe. Pump revolution and pump extreme. I'll sort of talk about these two at the same time. Pump revolution and pump extreme have all 10 of the series in there. So from warm up to cool down, you do the squats, the chest, the legs and back, the lunges, the shoulders, the biceps, triceps, and the abs. You do all of it. Okay. And I've done revolution 4 times. And revolution's my favorite one out of all of them. It has the best music in it. And like I said, you go through the circuit. Revolution, for some reason, the way they have the lunges set up, it doesn't kill me as much. I don't know why, if that's because I'd have to really look closely at why that is. Probably because the order that you're doing it. Sometimes you do like squats and then you start doing the lunges and then you do more squats and then you do more lunges. But sometimes you do the lunges first and then squats, or you do more bottom halves or whatnot. But there's something about revolution that I like about it because it doesn't crush me. I've done revolution 4 times, and like I said, it has the best music. Extreme is the same. You've got all 10 of the circuits in there, and I've done it 3 times. The music isn't quite as good, and the trainers, like most of the trainers are there, and they're all wearing red and black. And for some reason, they double up. So in most of these workouts, one trainer leads one circuit. But for some reason in extreme, they double up. 2 trainers do the same circuit. And they just take turns talking to you. So that's those are the 5 pump workouts. Though, to me, they're the essential core of the program. Challenge, pump and burn, pump and shred, pump revolution, and pump extreme. Now, the other 5 workouts, let's start with pump flow. Okay, flow is, I've done it 8 times, including yesterday. It's a yoga workout. But it's not like P90X yoga, which is the one that I'm most familiar with. This kind of yoga is a strange sequence to me, yoga, except that, you're still doing yoga. You're still doing upward dogs and downward dogs, okay? But the way you step back and the order that you do it is a little bit different. So to me, it's a little bit stranger, but it's quick. Yoga flow is only 20 minutes, and you do like this, you start in mountain pose, you go up, you bend down into forward lunge, or forward bent over, and then you do downward dog, plank, then you step into upward dog, step out into lunge the same foot, and then you step up to backward. And it's like to to me it's different. And then that's like about the first 10 minutes. The second 10 minutes of flow is you're doing some stretching on the floor. And it's some stuff that if you've done any yoga at all, you'll be familiar with. So like I said, I've done it 8 times. I've gotten used to it. It's not my favorite. I miss doing the P90X stuff like Patience Hummingbird, Fountain of Youth, P90X yoga, P90X2 yoga, even P90X3 yoga, which is my least favorite. I kind of miss doing those, but I want to stay true to pump, and I'm kind of just doing the schedule. The second of the non-pump is called Combat. By the way, they did a whole Les Mills Combat program, but this is just one disc. Let's see if I got it here. So here's the flow. I think that's Jackie right there. And then step. Combat. Combat is actually disc 10. So Combat is like, it's like their Kenpo. I did it one time in week 1 or 2. And it's kind of like Kenpo, but more like Tap Out XT, where it's a faster paced MMX or MMA style workout. I would be interested in doing it again, but I'm not dying to do it again. It wasn't that interesting, but you know, it's a punching and kicking one is what it is. There's a disc called Sport Attack or Sports Attack right here at disc 9. I did it one time in the first phase. I liked it, but it hurt my feet. It's sort of like, tying it back to P90X experience, it's sort of like Accelerator from P90X3, but with some more plyo moves like Heisman's and squat jacks. There's skaters in there, there's punches. I thought it was kind of fun. I would be willing to do it again, but like Combat, I'm not dying to do it again, but I think it would be a good thing to mix up if you're looking for a cardio day or something like that. The 9th disc is Hardcore Abs. I've done it 11 times so far. There's sort of like 3 sequences in it. There's the beginning where you're laying on your back and you're doing these things with your legs. The beginning is very doable for me. The middle sequence has hovers, and Cory leads the beginning and the middle. Cory's doing the hovers, which is when you're in that Sphinx pose, and you're basically going up to plank, down to plank. You know, it's like Sphinx, plank, Sphinx, plank. That wears me out, and it is hard on your abs and core, and it's hard on your shoulders. And I can do it, but it's definitely the hardest part of hardcore abs. And then, so just think, you know, like there's a lot of those Sphinx moves in P90X, especially P90X2, and if you've ever done Tap Out XT, it's kind of like that, just up, down, up, down, up, down. And then the third part of hardcore abs is Ben comes in, and Ben, you're laying on your back and you're doing some things with your legs. And it's challenging, but it's doable. I think it's a good, solid ab sequence, hardcore abs. Definitely not as hard as any of the ab ripper X's, okay? The final disc is a disc called Core, which was the free bonus disc that you get when you order from your Team Beachbody coach back in the day. Now, because I ordered this on eBay, I actually don't have Core, so I don't have this. I can't speak about it. Okay, lastly, I want to talk about my experience doing pump. I'm on day 66. Execute order 66. No joking. But I'm in week 10, so I'm in the back end. I'm almost done. I've got a couple more weeks left, and then I'm done with this program. I started doing a hybrid schedule. I created my own hybrid schedule because a couple things happened. I ordered this on eBay. I never got the schedule or the calendar. And I searched for one, and I could never find one. Then I searched for hybrid calendars, and I found a couple of like P90X pump hybrids, and I found some P90X2 pump hybrids from old Beachbody coaches. And what I did was I just modified them by replacing workouts with ones from One-on-One Volume 1 and P90X Plus. And I created a P90X One-on-One Volume 1 X Plus hybrid pump. And I did that for 4 weeks. And let me tell you, it was killing me. It was absolutely destroying me because I would do, like on Monday, I would do something like 30-15, which is a push-up and pull-up routine, which is very difficult, kills your upper body. Then on Tuesday or the next day, I would do something like cardio 5-6, or one day I did step, one day I did sports attack. And then on Wednesday or day 3, you'd come around and do pump challenge. That was not a good idea. That was absolutely killing me. It was wearing me out. And for a beginner of pump, that was not a good compatible series of trying to build a hybrid. So what I did was I switched to the pump schedule on week 5. But first, I had to search again. It took me forever to find it on the web. But I finally dug out a pump schedule that looked like the original from it's a website called hybridworkoutscheduler.com. And I printed it, and I have it right over there on the table. But man, let me tell you, it's frustrating to find anything from 14 years ago on the internet. The internet just doesn't have that kind of storage or memory or capacity. You got to get lucky. And, well, let me say this. The pump schedule is much more ideal, especially for a beginner. Now, the pump schedule it doesn't have those extra workouts like sports attack, combat and sports attack and core in the schedule. It has the 5 pump discs and then flow. That's what you're doing. And then you have off days, and you have days reserved just for taking a walk, like take a 30-minute walk, take a 60-minute walk. So that's what I try to do. That's been my experience. Since I switched over to the pump schedule on week 5, it seems much more doable. I like the pace a lot more. I like that you get a day or 2 off a week. I like the walking days a week that you get. I like that you do a pump on Monday, and then on Tuesday it's either an off day, or it's a flow day, or it's a flow and abs day, or whatever. It's you never have to do 2 pumps 2 days in a row. So you do like a pump and then a day in between and then another pump. Sometimes you get 2 days in between. It's a much better pace, and I think that allows for the healing to start to happen to allow you to grow faster. Okay, so that's been my experience. I've enjoyed it much more thoroughly, and I've been doing a lot better since I switched at week 5. Some of the things that are different, you can't turn off the music in the menu. That's frustrating to me because as much as I like the program, I don't always like the music that's playing. And what I would like to do is create my own playlist, find songs that I like that have similar beats per minute or the same time signature and rhythm, and just work out to my own music. I'll have to try that, but I'm not in a position to do that. Maybe next round when I've memorized a little bit more, or I know what to expect, or I know the sequence a little bit better. But for now, I'm just doing to their questionable taste in music. The yoga music is not good. The opening music in the yoga video, the yoga flow or pump flow or whatever they call it. I think it's called pump flow. Oh, it's just flow. See? Flow. The opening music doesn't fit. The next sequence of music is like, I call it fake Goo Goo Dolls. That's what I hear when I listen to it when I'm doing the workout. It's like arpeggiated guitars. Do 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 do. You know, it does that. It doesn't work for yoga. I like the real synth stuff for yoga. Then there's a song at the end when Jackie's taking you through the stretch sequence. It's like, I love it, we're cruising together, I love it, you know, it's just not good. It's like, it's not my favorite song. And then Jackie says, I love it, or whatever, you know. You can tell I've done the yoga a lot, but it's just a big turnoff. I do miss the P90X yoga, although I'm gonna plow through and finish these with these flows. I mean, it's not so terrible that I can't do it. Let's see what else. Here's the kicker. I'm gaining weight, so I'm putting on all kinds of new weight. And my all-time high yesterday was 176.4 pounds. I've never been over 175. So I'm on day 66. I'm back in the 175s today. I do weigh myself just about every day or every other day, just for the heck of it. It doesn't matter. But I got 24 days left. I'm gaining mass. The mass is definitely in my upper body, my chest, my legs, my back. When I look at my back because I shave, I can see my back's getting bigger. My arms are getting bigger. My thighs are growing together. That's one of the things I don't like about gaining mass is I feel like when I'm walking, my thighs are rubbing. So I got the thunder thighs going, but it's all good. If let's say you were an overweight individual, and you were trying to do this, I think you would lose weight. I think you would just burn calories and burn fat. I'm not like gaining bad weight. I'm gaining mass weight. So I'm interested to see what happens when I finish this program and I go back to something I'm more used to. So that's it. We did a Les Mills Pump Beachbody 2011 review. I hope this helps you. If you're interested in the program, you can find it on eBay for 40 or 50 bucks. I would recommend finding a set that's more complete, that has the fitness guide, so you could read about. I wish I had the calendar and everything, but I've just had to survive with the discs. I do like the program. I strongly recommend it. It's interesting because of all places, I went to a funeral and I was talking to someone in my family, someone that I don't know very well, but the person's a pump coach, a Les Mills pump coach right now, and she's talking about it. And that's what turned me on to this. Like, just listening to her talk about pump for even a minute or two, I was like, oh, I'm going to try it. No, I'm going to try it. So, if you go to YouTube, there's Les Mills channel. There's like all kinds of sample videos, and there's even like, if you want to work out with them, it kind of looks cheesy, but I'll say this about Beachbody. They produced a good series. The set's good. The trainers are good for the most part. The music's a little sketchy. I think it's more geared towards millennials. An older Gen Xer like me, I don't always love the music, although Cherry Pie by Warrant's in there, and Pump Up the Jam is in there. That's a good 80s song. And yeah, great program. Highly recommend it. The rep effect is real. It's just, you're doing a lot of reps and you're lifting big and heavy. And it's designed to give you progressive overload and to grow your muscles. And like I said, if you're an overweight person, I would think, or if you're out of shape, this will get you into shape. You got to eat right, and you got to watch your diet, but it'll do the job. So thanks everyone for listening. Look forward to your comments. Let me know if you have any questions.